Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys had a great week so far. I wasn't even planning on going live. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but just too much information has been bombarding me on this Hannah Kobayashi case. So I decided I need to come online. I need to have a real talk moment with you beautiful people. But before we dive into this, I got to say a few things, all right? Because Hannah Kobayashi's parents, parents, relatives, aunts, sisters, all that good stuff, they have attorneys. There's even an attorney, from my understanding, who's saying that they're actually representing Hannah Kobayashi. I don't know how that's possible because you can't represent somebody. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. I'm not an attorney unless the person agrees that, you're the counsel or you're a juvenile. But whatever, that's beside the point. So before we get started on this live, I have to say that everything I'm saying here is my opinion. Straight up my opinion, all right? This is an entertainment show. Everything that you do, if you're not a part of the investigation, what you're doing is entertainment at the end of the day. So it's an entertainment show. And so you take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But I'm telling you my opinion under the First Amendment, okay? Because I'm going to say some tough words today, all right? And it is what it is. You take it or you leave it. Now, when I started my YouTube career, I had a nice small following, like a group of people who had a very small audience, but a group of people that really believed in the mission I had at that time. I was talking politics and all that kind of stuff. And the quality of my show was super low. I didn't have a lot of money invested in the show, so I did a GoFundMe. And in the GoFundMe, I told my loyal followers exactly what I needed to upgrade my show. A lot of the stuff that we have is from that GoFundMe. This is a $500 microphone right here that I'm using. That's from that GoFundMe. $2,000 computer. That's from that GoFundMe. Almost $1,000 camera. That's from that GoFundMe. I told my viewers exactly what I needed and how much it costs. And then we started working down on that price from their very generous donations. And then they saw that I bought everything that I said I was going to buy. Now, why am I talking to you guys about this? Why are we talking about Strategic Eyes GoFundMe he did like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago? Because Hannah Kobayashi's family have a GoFundMe. And to my understanding, that GoFundMe started out as Hannah is missing. We need this money to find Hannah. But now we're finding out that Hannah is not the sweet missing woman. People want to call her a girl, but she's a grown A woman, right? That she was being sold as. It's starting to come out that Hannah Kobayashi is a scammer. It's starting to come out that Hannah Kobayashi is not missing. Hannah Kobayashi is probably just pissed off for some of the reasons we're going to go in on this show. So my question is, why is that GoFundMe still up with the family? Why hasn't the family given that money back? I mean, they changed the terms of the GoFundMe now. They put voluntarily missing with quotation marks down here. My sister's purported voluntary disappearance is shocking to us all. And now we need money to do all this other stuff. Almost $50,000 in donations. I think this is unethical. This page should be taken down and all the money raised should be returned to the people who donated. Why? Because the majority of the first donations went towards what was supposed to be a missing woman. That's where the majority of the donations went. Now that we know that that woman is no longer missing, I don't think you could just change the terms. When I did my GoFundMe to better my show, which we're still benefiting from that with the equipment that I bought, if I just happened upon money and was able to buy it with my own cash, I can't go on GoFundMe and say, well, we started this donation drive so we can buy better equipment, but now I'm going to switch it up so I can get a Ferrari. I don't need the money for equipment no more, but I do want a Ferrari. So we're just going to change it in the middle of the GoFundMe fundraiser. We're going to change that to Ferrari money. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now with this Kobayashi GoFundMe. But that's not why I decided to do this live, ladies and gentlemen. It's just, there's so much about this case that pisses me off because we have little children who are missing every single day. Millions of children. When I say that number, people don't believe me often, but it is 1,000% fact. Millions of children go missing in America every single year. Now, the vast majority of them make their way back home. They're found, they return home, and that does not mean that they did not experience profound abuse and trauma while they were missing, because we know there's nothing good on those streets, especially for children. But the vast majority do make it home, but there's still thousands of children that never make it home. And instead of talking about those children, instead of talking about that mother, so let's go to adults, because Hannah is a 30-year-old woman. So let's do apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Instead of talking about that mother of 4 who randomly goes missing, and there's some abusive boyfriend that we have DV cases on within this family household, who's saying, I don't know, she went to the corner store, I never seen her again, who might very much be her murderer. Instead of focusing on that case, we're focusing on Hannah Kobayashi, who might be missing because she's pissed off that she got the sour end of a deal. That's why I said that, the sour end of a rotten, fraudulent deal. But let's go in and let's talk about that, guys. I think you guys have had enough of a preamble. I want to bring your attention to the Los Angeles Magazine. They just did an expose. Let me move myself over so you guys can get a better view of this article. I'll also go ahead and zoom in this article a little something, so we can read it a little bit better. Big shout out to everybody who's watching the show right now. Appreciate you coming through at this short notice. This is an impromptu live, no promotion, no nothing. So thank you so much for coming and joining me. Please, though, hit that like button, guys. We got 121 people watching right now. Please hit that like button. Let's get those lights up so YouTube can start recommending this to other people and we get more people to come join us in this community. I appreciate you guys. Oh, what's this? Let's get that out of there. Should have been using that Brave browser. Somebody recommended it to me, and it definitely works. No ads on a Brave browser. Big shout out to Leslie with a 1 gift membership. Thank you so much, Leslie, for showing love to the channel. And Shelly, make sure you tell Leslie thank you for her generosity. So investigators want to know if Hannah Kobayashi is involved in possible immigration scheme. Guys, this gets real ugly, guys. Wait till I start reading this article. This gets ugly. They're going to say, well, read it already, Strategic. It was taking you so long. Hannah Kobayashi's mother found documents connected to her daughter's marriage to an Argentinian man shortly before her bizarre disappearance in Los Angeles that have now been turned over to FBI and LAPD, sources said. Now, some people say, well, why did her mother dime her out, sell her out? Well, remember, she's missing now, so her mother's now combing through all of her personal items, and she finds these documents. And allegedly, Hannah was talking about people stealing her identity, and she's going on a spiritual journey, all this stuff. Of course, the mother is going to turn that stuff in. She's going to say, whoa, is this probative? Is this something that can help find my missing daughter? So her mother rightfully turned these documents in, but these documents didn't help Hannah. These documents are damning against Hannah. So let's keep going, because I'm going to tell you what my theory is as to why Hannah is missing. I'm going to tell you what my theory is. Another major twist in the disappearance of Hannah Kobayashi, the 30-year-old photographer from Hawaii, whose father allegedly took his own life after a fruitless search for his daughter. Mind you, my understanding is that her and her father were estranged. They were estranged. They were not on talking terms. That doesn't mean that his love for her was any less. I'm not telling you that, but I'm telling you that all is not rosy in the Kobayashi world. They're not this family that's moving as a monolith and they all get along. They got issues. They got drama. They got stuff going on. Let's keep going. Has apparently drawn in the FBI after her mother discovered that she may have engaged in a secret marriage for money. Listen to this. This gets juicy, guys. New information about Kobayashi's ties to a possible immigration scam comes a day after LAPD chief Jim McDonald announces his investigators traced Kobayashi to the border, where she crossed into Mexico on November 12th, 4 days after her arrival at LAX. And this is another reason why I'm covering this, because I wasn't going to cover this in the public. Anybody who's a member of the show or Patreon, you guys know that I've covered this from the beginning. And from the beginning, I said, this is fishy. She's not missing because she's being sex trafficked. She simply does not want to be found. I said that in the beginning. if I'd have posted that for everybody to see on YouTube, not just for the members of the Patreon, I would have been one of the only YouTubers who said, this is fishy. Every other YouTuber, rightfully so, was being, caring and loving and empathetic to the Kobayashis, like, oh my God, we got to find her. I expect that. I'm a detective. I don't think like that. The rest of you are supposed to think like that, but you pay me not to think like that. You give me your tax dollars, because guess what? Federal dollars pay for every single police department in this country. So it doesn't matter if you live in Ohio, it doesn't matter if you live in Alaska, it doesn't matter if you live in Guam or you live in Puerto Rico, you're going to be paying for law enforcement all over this country. You pay me to think in a discerning manner. You pay me to be a skeptic. But I didn't want to, even though I was a skeptic, I didn't want to shame the Kobayashi family. I did not want to be the contrarian that would take attention away from finding her, because even though I felt it was fishy, there still was a possibility she could have been in danger. She could have been kidnapped. So I kept that for the members, and I kept that for the Patreon. But now the cat is out the bag, so we're going to talk about this for the whole world. Let's keep going. Sources tell Los Angeles that Kobayashi was apparently scammed out of the proceeds. This is the money that she said what was missing, guys. She was scammed out of the proceeds of a purported immigration scheme, possibly concocted by her former partner, the person who was on the plane with her, who was going to New York with her with this New York trip, which I think was a bullcrap trip. But it gets even juicier about that plane ride. Let's keep going. Concocted by her former partner, who left Maui with Kobayashi on November 8th and landed at LAX with plans to catch a connecting flight to New York City. Also on the plane, sources say, was Kobayashi's new husband, Alan Casase. Casase, I don't know. It's an Argentinian name. I'm not from Argentina. An Argentinian man whose own girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen, Mariana, was reportedly on the flight with Kobayashi's ex. So Hannah Kobayashi married this Alan guy from Argentina for immigration fraud, allegedly. And then this Alan guy's girlfriend, the real person that he loves, married Kobayashi's ex-boyfriend for immigration fraud, allegedly. And they were all flying to New York together. They were all flying to New York together. Now, I think that whole story about Hannah and the ex planning this trip while they was together and just flying to New York, even though they broke up, they already had the trip. I think that's bullcrap. You know what these people do when they do the immigration scam? They milk the immigrants. I think it was, we want to go on a trip to New York. They paid them cash. They're like, yo, we want to go on a trip to New York. You got to pay for that too. I think Alan and Mariana paid for Kobayashi and her ex-boyfriend's trip. And we're all going to go there together. And the added benefit is that we take pictures together, because you need to prove to immigration that you're in a real relationship. So Hannah and this guy got these beautiful pictures together. I'm going to go pull it up on the internet for you guys. I pull it off of the Devil's Playground, Twitter. That's what I call Twitter. I love Twitter, though, but it's still the Devil's Playground. Twitter brings the worst out of people. You got marriage photos of this strappingly handsome Argentinian man. You know, these Argentinian guys they're very machismo and romantic. I'm from Argentina. You got pictures with her and this wavy-haired, Flavio-looking Argentinian guy, Alan. And they got, the classic Hawaiian flowers around their neck, and she's freeze-framed like this in the picture, like, ah. And that's their marriage photos, allegedly. That's her marriage photos. So now if they go to New York and they're like, yo, we want to go to New York, Kobayashi and her ex is like, we want to go to New York, I got to pay for that. Because they're basically like the sugar daddies while they go through this process. The immigrants, rather, are the sugar daddies of Kobayashi and her ex while they go through this process. It's a very expensive process when you want to do the marriage fraud route. I've heard people paying up to $50,000 to Americans for marriage fraud. The added benefit is they go to New York, and now Alan and his girlfriend, Marianne, get to take pictures with their fake husband and wife and show, hey, we're married, we're going on vacations together, etc. All right, let's keep going. The possible visa scam was uncovered, sources told Los Angeles, by Kobayashi's mother, who discovered immigration documents in her daughter's home in Hawaii that listed an immigration attorney. That attorney was not cooperative with the mom, as he shouldn't have been because attorney-client privilege. One source close to the investigation said her mother then turned the documents over to the FBI and LAPD, the sources said, and big up to her mother for doing that. I appreciate that she didn't keep that secret. She actually did the right thing. Let's keep going. I'm sorry, I read something in the chat. Chris Dry, what's up, Chris? Chris Dry is in the building. Longtime viewer of the Strategic Eyes Show, says some Chinese girl offered him $10,000 20 years ago. Yeah, so let's keep going. On Wednesday night, her family released a statement saying they have not verified the marriage or photos of the marriage posted by her alleged groom on his social media that has since been removed. What are you guys verifying? You guys the FBI now? You guys got facial recognition technology and all that stuff? You guys got access to the records? And I heard, my understanding, and I heard that Hawaii does not post, it does not make available marriage certificates publicly. So you can't just go and search it up in Hawaii. So it's going to take a little bit of digging to kind of figure that out. If they even got married in Hawaii, I don't know. They could have got married somewhere else. Big shout out to David, longtime supporter of the show. Also moderator, says $9.99 super chat, says alive before bedtime. Yeah, I said alive. Appreciate you, David. David works the night shift, so he's catching us for a little bit, but he's got to go to bed soon. All right, let's keep going. They also confirmed that what Kobayashi's mom found was turned over the alleged information to law enforcement immediately upon receipt in a statement through their Los Angeles attorney, Sarah Azari. They got a high-powered influencer, law and crime type attorney, like one of those attorneys that's on these channels a lot, and that's doing like they're like doing the color commentary. That's their attorney. That's why I gotta make my statement. I don't want Sarah to come for me. Sarah, please don't come for me. I just got 76,000 subscribers. Leave me alone. Anyway, statement on behalf of Hana Kobayashi's family, Ari alleged marriage. This is her Twitter post. We want to stress that the family has not publicly announced any information regarding an alleged marriage because we do not have the facts or the necessary documents to verify the legitimacy of this. I might as well just click it. Just get the whole thing in context. Legitimacy of this information. The family has not confirmed the authenticity of the images or the accuracy of the information provided about a possible secret marriage. This is one of many leads we are actively investigating with the help of our attorney and investigative team. We would also like to confirm that we turned over the alleged information to law enforcement immediately upon receipt. Further, while we appreciate Lair's efforts, she does not speak on behalf of our immediate family. Who's Lair's? Is that the mother? It's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know who Lair's is. Leah's efforts, she does not speak on behalf of our immediate family, which consists of Hannah's mother, so that's not the mother, that's somebody else, Brandy, and her sister Sydney. We remain focused on verifying the details and leads we have received and ask for your understanding and patience as we continue our investigation. We extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who has supported us during this incredibly difficult time. Your efforts, especially those of the volunteers and individuals who have gone above and beyond to help search for Hannah, mean the world to us. Finally, we kindly ask everyone to avoid jumping to conclusions. I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm telling you what I'm thinking here. You talking to me? Sarah, let me stop. I'm being so silly this morning. Finally, we kindly ask everyone to avoid jumping to conclusions or spreading unverified claims. It is especially important not to perpetuate speculation that anyone is involved in a scam, as this only hinders our effort to find Hannah and bring clarity and closure to the nightmare we are living because of her disappearance. So we read their statement. We were fair to them. We read their statement. Let's keep going. On Tuesday, LAPD Chief Jim McDonald announced that Kobayashi was classified as voluntary missing person after investigators uncovered a video of her walking into Mexico along with her luggage from a San Diego border crossing 12 days before her father, Ryan, 53, apparently leapt to his death from a parking structure near the airport. Now, I want to say something about this because I don't think that they were very clear about this. And then I heard the family say kind of things, and I see commentators saying things that just is outside of the realm of reality of how border crossings work. And I will blame law enforcement as well. and I'm also pissed off with the family and their attorneys because they keep trying to act like law enforcement is not working hard on this case, and they have worked extremely hard. Then the people of Los Angeles, their tax dollars have heavily been invested in dealing with this Hannah Kobayashi stuff, and these people aren't even citizens and residents of that state. They were just there on a connecting flight, and the people of Los Angeles got involved in all this nonsense. And they've already flown detectives to the border, and they're dealing with the FBI and hundreds of hours of manpower, sourcing videos, looking for this woman in Los Angeles, and she was already gone 90% of the time they were doing their investigation. But I just want to clarify this border thing. You can't just walk over the border. I know it sounds that way with the statement from police that they see her going through the tunnel to Mexico. They're just not giving you the details. She had to be identified. She had to show her passport and all that stuff before she got over to the border. You cannot just walk over the border as you see fit. Can't do that. Doesn't work that way. They scanned her passport. They stamped her passport. They know that she's over there. Her face was caught on facial recognition technology. There's a border crossing agent who will be able to verify, yep, I remember her coming through. I, checked her documentation and all that stuff. Good to go. The consulate knows where she's going unless she lied. She had to declare what she's doing there. Mexico knows that she's in the country. America knows that she was in the country. What I think happened is that because she was going from New York, from Hawaii to Cali and Cali to New York on a connecting flight, I don't think that they put an alert with the federal government quick enough. It's not a necessary investigative step when you're doing a domestic investigation. If they would have did an alert, they would have known sooner that she crossed the border to Mexico. This is for all my law enforcement people who are watching it. They know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't go into too many details, though, because I don't want the bad guys to know everything that we do. But there's a special alert that you can do in conjunction with Homeland Security that would have allowed them to know when she crossed the border. But if you don't put that alert in, you will not be notified. Homeland Security will not know that this is a person of interest. I believe after they exhausted all of their leads and they start seeing that the sightings of her were showing her going south toward the border, that's when they decided to issue that alert. And when they issued that alert, the Homeland Security came back to those detectives and said, yo, listen, we already have her logged at exiting on this day. And that's why it took so long for us to figure out that she crossed the border and went to Mexico. So don't get it twisted and think for 1 second that she just kind of like a random camera just caught her going through a tunnel to go to Mexico and to Tijuana to parts unknown. That doesn't work that way. She went through official channels and she got across that border as anybody else would if they crossed the border. I want to show you guys something real quick. This is her buying a bus ticket with her luggage, looking clean. Hair looks like it's been kept, to go to the Mexican border. That's her buying a bus ticket to go to the Mexican border. She's paying. It looks like she has a passport in her hand. You look at that little booklet there, right there. That looks like a passport in her hand. I could be wrong, but it looks like a passport in her hand. Anyway, let's go back to the article. On Tuesday, after investigators uncovered video of her walking into Mexico along with her luggage from a San Diego border crossing 12 days before her father, Ryan, 53, apparently leapt to his death from a parking structure near the airport. Now, this is another thing here. It's another thing. They said she purposely missed her connecting flight. And I think it goes beyond that. This is my speculation here. I think it goes beyond that. I think she canceled her connecting flight because how would she have been able to get her luggage? Because they have her getting her luggage from the carousel. How would she be able to get her luggage from the carousel if she did not cancel her connecting flight? Because when you get a connecting flight, the airline identifies your luggage from everybody else's luggage where that's their final destination, and they automatically take your luggage and put it on the connecting flight. The only way she would have been able to go down and collect her luggage from the carousel is if she notified the airline, I'm not taking that flight. I'm canceling that. I'm staying right here. So that's another thing. They said she purposely missed her connecting flight, but they didn't go into details as to whether she just didn't show up to the flight or if she went to the ticket counter and said, listen, I'm not doing it. Give me my luggage. I'm done. So let's keep going. According to McDonald, Kobayashi wanted to step away from modern connectivity, and the LAPD, well, I missed something. I apologize. The father losing his life. Her father, Ryan 53, apparently leapt to his death from a parking structure near the airport. According to McDonald, Kobayashi wanted to step away from modern connectivity, and the LAPD did not believe she was a victim of foul play. But Kobayashi's family continues to demand answers from his department. Following McDonald's press conference late Tuesday afternoon, the family requested to see video evidence of Kobayashi crossing into Mexico, as they were previously unaware that the LAPD had tracked her to the border on November 12th. Now, I will give the family grace now and say, listen, I get it. Your family member is missing. You want to be a part of the investigation. You want to see all the things you want to see. But that's not always the case. Families can't always be privy to all of the information that we have, because at the end of the day, she is an adult. And this is technically a confidential investigation. The family does not deserve, is not owed to any information on Hana Kobayashi once they discovered that Hana was voluntarily missing. There's no crime here anymore. So LAPD may not be willing to share as much information as they have with the family because the family has no right to that information. A husband would have right to that information. If Hana was mentally impaired and somebody was her legal custodian or legal guardian, they would have access to that information. But mommy, sister, friend, cousin, aunt have no right to Hana Kobayashi's information once the police determine that she is alive and well. Especially when they're asking for this information, but then they're going out on Law and Crime and Newsweek and all these different channels, and they're disparaging the very police who are doing a stellar job figuring out that this was a scam. Let me put my God voice on. This was a scam. It was a scam. Let's keep going, because we're going to get to why I think it was a scam. We're going to get there. After her arrival in Los Angeles, a photo of which was released by California State Attorney General Rob Bonta, Kobayashi was spotted at the Grove Shopping Center on November 9th. Then on Sunday, November 10th, she returned to the Grove and was captured in a video posted by a shopper and posted on YouTube, attending a LeBron James pop-up event at the Nike store. A photo of the event was also posted on Hana's Instagram page that same day. The LAPD issued a missing persons poster for Hana on November 13th. That's their missing posting. An FBI spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment, nor did the LAPD missing persons unit commander. I think that's all we got. Let's bring it back over to me. So this is what I think happened. And we're going to play some video too. So I started this a little early so that we could finish early and I could do some other things. I think that Hana agrees to go on this trip. Hana expects to get paid extra, etc. I believe that what they're saying, that she got scammed by the boyfriend. I think the boyfriend probably was spearheading everything. The boyfriend was like, yo, I got this couple. They want to become American citizens. First of all, please do continue your investigation. Please do continue your investigation. These folks are scamming our immigration system. They need to be deported and barred from the United States of America. Secondly, if they have started one document in the immigration process, the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, and Hana need to be charged with fraud. The reason I say is that it's not technically fraud, because who's to say people can get married whether they love each other or not? So they got married. It's not fraud. But the moment they start the immigration process, it becomes fraud. And if they have started their paperwork, one document, they need to be arrested for fraud. They need to be deported. Hannah and her boyfriend need to be arrested as well. You guys know how I am on immigration. I don't talk politics on this channel, but I don't hide how I feel about people coming here the right way. It is what it is. We all have different opinions. It is what it is. But you should not be taking advantage of the goodwill of the United States of America, because we have goodwill. We help people. We're not perfect, but we help people. All right. So I believe that the boyfriend probably did not send her as much money as he was supposed to send her. And that pissed Hannah off. And Hannah's like, screw this, I'm not going to New York with these people. Because I think going to New York, this is my opinion, guys, I think going to New York was a plot and a ploy to take pictures, etc., with these loved ones, these newfound loved ones of theirs, husband and wife, respectively, so that they could add that to the portfolio for them to show to immigration. Like, look, we're all young, handsome people. We're all married. We're all in love. Look, I'm Hannah. I'm hot. She's pretty. And her fake husband from Argentina, he is Flavio. He is a handsome man. Let's go. Let me see if we can get this Flavio dude. Let me search it up real quick before I get deeper into this, because you guys know I get so excitable. Hannah Kobayashi. She married a Flavio. She married Flavio. Where we at? Here we go. Yes, look at Flavio. Look at him. Let's bring him in over here. So look, young, handsome guy with the wavy hair. And this is her. Look, they pose, and remember, she likes photography. And she's getting paid. So she's putting on a good show, like they just got a traditional Hawaiian marriage right next to the volcano. And so now she's like, I'm not going to New York with you guys to keep playing this game because you didn't pay me my money. And I think that's when she was like, you know what? I need to go on a spiritual journey. What would make somebody want to engage in this kind of foolishness? Somebody who's desperate. Hawaii is one of the most expensive places to live in America. You guys know that, right? Hawaii also has a lot of poverty. Hawaii also have a big homeless population out there. And they kind of do funky stuff. They like push those people into the woods and into the mountains. They don't play in Hawaii. They're not like Cali, where you could just sleep in front of somebody's mansion. In Hawaii, you homeless, they give you a tent and say, yo, go into the woods, my friend. Aloha, go into the woods. She's 30 years old. She doesn't have a real career. Her relationship failed. I mean, I can see why. She's dealing with a shady character like this ex-boyfriend, in my opinion, allegedly. She needs money. She's broke. So she goes through with this scam, and then ex-boyfriend allegedly scams her. Like, nah, I'm not giving you. Maybe he gave her half what he was supposed to give. What are you going to do? Call the cops? You call the cops, say, yo, I concocted this immigration fraud with my ex-boyfriend, and he was supposed to give me $10,000, but he only gave me $5,000. I was defrauded. You can't call the cops without everybody going down. So that's when I think she started having this whole spiritual awakening, like, screw this, I'm done, I'm just going off, and she took off to Mexico. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see what the family thinks about it. Let's hear from the aunt.
Are you and the family accepting what the LAPD is saying, which is that Hannah, from what they believe, left...
I'm sorry, I missed out on this. You know, guys know I have to shout out the chat because these are generous people that keep my show going. Dr. Cataclysm with a 1 gift membership. Thank you so much, Dr. Cataclysm, for being a longtime supporter of the show, as well as being very generous with the show, allowing people to be able to become members. There's a lot of people who can't afford the membership. And it's always great when people donate gift memberships so that people can actually get a taste of the membership and be able to be a part of the family in that capacity if they don't have the means of doing it. So yeah, congratulations to whoever got that free membership.
Voluntarily and is now in Mexico.
I think you have to be really careful with the word voluntarily. We haven't seen the footage of her crossing into Mexico. They've told us.
Right. So now, we're dealing with a missing woman who is clearly scamming. At least clearly to me, in my opinion. You guys know I got to talk like that because Susie might be watching the show. Not Susie in the chat. The Susie that's a lawyer for this family. So I'm being fair. It's all alleged. I have no evidence of this stuff. I'm just being fair. You don't believe LAPD. Now LAPD is the bad guys. Make it make sense. LAPD is the bad guys. They not telling the truth about the fact that your niece went to Mexico. They just made that up. They just made that up. We got to see it to believe it. Come on, man. Let's keep going.
We still haven't heard from her in 22 days. So that footage that was shown was on November 12th. It's December, 4th? So we're at a loss. We don't know why she went to Mexico. We don't know if she was under duress. We don't know if she was blackmailed into going there. We don't know.
That's another thing, they were out there trying to paint this black guy. You guys know I don't play this race thing. I don't play the race card. I think that's the cancer of America, that we divide ourselves on these lines. There was a time when racism was terrible in America. But this great nation, as it always does, finds a way to overcome, to heal, and to become a better nation. There is no country on this earth that is more integrated, more tolerant, and more accepting than the United States of America. This is the greatest country on the planet. Yeah, I'm a patriot. I don't care. You guys know I'm a patriot. So I don't play the race card. I don't do that. Not here. But it did irk me a little bit when this family saw, look at this black guy that she was with. He might have drugged her and kidnapped her and did all this kind of stuff. The guy was so scared, he had to go get an attorney to speak with the police. He was so scared because this family was out there acting like this guy was some predator that kidnapped her and trafficked her. This black guy that we saw her with. And all he probably did was, hey, you all right? What's going on? What's your name? You pretty? How you doing? What's your name? We think she had she didn't have a psychotic break. I don't think that anymore. She probably hanged out with him because she didn't have nothing better to do. So that kind of irked me a little bit. I'm not pulling no race card. I'm not doing that, but that kind of hurt. That irked me rather a little bit. I didn't like that. Trying to make that guy out looking like he was some trafficker and he was nobody. He was just a regular guy caught up in this web of lies that Hannah and her cohorts seem to be weaving. But let's keep going. Let's keep hearing from the auntie.
She did it under her own accord. We just know our Hannah, and it's been 23 days since she's spoken to a family member or a friend.
Miss Janusa? I'm trying to crack a joke, but your name messed me up, Miss Janusa. Miss Janusa says Canada's good too. No, it's not. It's nobody better than America. America. Nobody's better than America. Let's keep going.
Larry, do you know if the police have made any contact with her, or is it just that they saw this image of her making the border crossing, and from that alone, they're saying that she did this voluntarily? Have they actually spoken to her, do you know?
No, I mean, we were made aware of her crossing the border hours before they did that press conference, like hours before. And from what we could tell is they went to the border, they saw footage, they confirmed it was her, and that's what they told us.
Okay, what did you want them to do? You want them to start sniffing the ground like bloodhounds and start tracking her down? You understand that those LAPD officers had no authority to cross over that border. That's now the land of the FBI and Homeland Security. And CPB. They can't go across that border into Tijuana and start looking for this lady. And also, if she's doing all this stuff of her own volition, she is an adult. She does not owe you anything. Apparently, she wasn't even talking to her dad when he was alive. Guess what? Because adults can choose not to talk to their loved ones. She does not want to speak to you people, but you want us to go out there and kidnap her and bring her back before you into your poorly decorated kitchen and kneel her before you, prostrate before auntie, and explain to her why you don't want to talk to them. We can't do that. We don't have the authority to do that. And it's just really annoying that they're disparaging law enforcement when law enforcement is doing everything for these people. But let's keep going. And the public. They're $50,000 richer on a scam, in my opinion. $50,000 richer on a scam. The public has engorged your pockets, and the taxpayers have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars looking for somebody who does not want to be found. Let's keep going.
From what we can tell, they never spoke to her. They never saw her. I mean, they saw footage from, 22 days ago that she crossed. The family would love to see the footage. So we can confirm, in fact, that it is Hannah.
That is interesting. And the police have said they're not releasing that border crossing footage because they don't see
It's not a crime.
But it isn't. But they haven't shown it to you, and that I would think they would be willing to do.
Yes, I mean, it's something that that I would love to see. I believe that my family would like to see that as well. Just to confirm. I mean, again, this isn't the end of the puzzle for us. We now have to deal with Mexican authorities. We have to deal with the fact that she's in a country where she speaks, Spanish. This is just a whole new chapter in this story that seems to be never ending.
The other really sad part of this, Larry, is, and I understand that you would have no way of knowing at this point if Hannah even knows about what happened with her father, who was here in LA joining the search, and was clearly.
Harvey's getting old, man. Look at him. Both of them, really. I mean, I don't watch this show. I'm not really a TMZ guy. I think it's kind of weird the way they just run up on celebrities and innocent people. Hey, what's going on? What do you think about this, man? Hey, buddy, how you feeling today? So weird. The whole celebrity culture is weird. Celebrity culture is freaking weird. It I'm religious, but I'm not like super religious. But like, it does harken back to like the Bible. Like, don't worship false idols. Like, it's almost like we are out here worshiping idols. Got these guys running up on celebrities like, hey, what's up, Jay-Z? How you doing? Oh, what do you think about this today, man? Hey, you looking real nice, Beyonce. Ha, 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 ha. Like, shut the F up, bro. Get out of here. But anyway, yeah, whatever. Let's keep going.
Distraught over losing his daughter, and according to police, died by suicide near LAX. And I just wonder, when I saw that, if Hannah knew that she would at least reach out to you or someone in the family.
Of course she would. If she was not under duress, if she was in the sound mind, if she was okay, she would. And what you have to know is when we find her, she's going to have to face that reality. So there's going to be no happy ending. No matter what happens, it's going to be really.
She did it to herself. I'm sorry to say that, because the part about the father is incredibly sad. Everything I've said is the things that I'm gathering and I feel like is happening, but the part about the father is incredibly sad. And now that I believe the rumors that I'm hearing that him and Hannah were estranged, I can see now where, with existing mental health issues, because guess what? When somebody takes their life, I said this on a live in a members only area, because I talked about this case quite a bit in a members only area. If you're not a member or you're not in the Patreon, you're missing out on a real show of Strategic Eyes. You're missing out on uncensored videos that I can't post on YouTube. We had an assassination of a United Healthcare executive. It's very tragic, very sad. I can't post that video here. I will get striked and my channel get taken down. That's on the Patreon. So we talked about this. And I said that when people kill themselves, it should never be glorified in that, oh, he loved her so much, he killed himself of a broken heart. No, we should never do that, because it'll make some people think that they can go and take those actions. No. When that happens, it's as a result of mental illness, and we should treat it as such, and we should make people understand that if they ever think that this is the outlet that they want to go, the decision they want to make, that they need to think to themselves, well, everybody says that if I'm thinking this way, something's wrong with me. Let me go get some help, because there's nothing romantic about what I'm thinking about doing. But that being said, I'm starting to see the picture that they're estranged. He loves his daughter. He doesn't have the relationship that he wants with his daughter. And then she disappears, and this happens, and if he has existing mental health issues, it would drive him over the edge. It just makes this incredibly, incredibly tragic. But whose fault is it? It's not the family's fault. Even though I don't like how they're handling with this, it was not bad for them to come forward and ask for help in finding their missing loved one. They did nothing wrong in that aspect. It's Hannah's fault. Hannah decided, allegedly, to get involved in this scamming stuff. Hannah decided to, instead of being an adult and rising to the occasion and annulling her marriage and say, I don't want part of this anymore, not going through with filling out any immigration documents, because there's a pathway for her not to commit a crime. If she decides, if she hasn't already filled out immigration papers and all they did was get married at this point, a crime has not been committed yet. But if she filled out immigration papers, then that's a crime. But it was never too late until it's exposed for her to go out there and say, I don't want no part of this. It is what it is. I'm going back to Hawaii and just doing the right thing as an adult. Go do the struggle game. Go work your ass off. She has no children. There's no reason why she can't be like every other American here and have 3 jobs. I have 3 jobs. I have 3 jobs. Why do you think I'm so busy? I have 3 jobs. Bona fide. I have 3 bona fide jobs. We all in the struggle. There's no reason to take the path that Hannah decided to take. And she did not have to disappear in the way that she disappeared, which didn't result. I'm not going to put that on her, but it definitely aggravated whatever was happening with her father, and he did what he did. Not what he had to do. I'm watching my words carefully, and I apologize. He did what he did, which was tragic, and he should not have done it. And it is always a selfish thing when somebody does what the father did. An incredibly selfish thing he did, but he probably did it because of mental health, and we'll pray for his soul. We absolutely will. Let's keep going.
Horrible. If she knew that her father did that, she would have come forward. She would have, she might be embarrassed. She might be upset. If she was just having a vacation, she might be devastated. She would have come forward.
Somebody said something funny in the chat. They said, Mother Toast says, let's not normalize having to have a lot of jobs because people up on top don't want to trickle down. What are you talking about? People always trying to make things into politics. I don't want 3 jobs. Now, actually, my 3 jobs are the 3 jobs that I want, because 1 is working, serving the people, and 2 are my businesses where I am the boss, where I am building generational wealth for my family. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with having 3 jobs when you're working for yourself for the most part, and you are in charge of your own destiny. And no, we should not want a society where people are working and not spending time with their children. Absolutely not. But the point of what I'm saying, and I hate when people do this, and there's no disrespect to you, Mother Toast. I hate when people twist my words and for their own political gain. And I'm not saying that Mother Toast is doing that, but it does happen. My point is, it's better to work hard and struggle. It's better to work hard and struggle than to go do illegal things like what this young lady did. So in a perfect world, absolutely, people will get paid livable wages. People will be able to survive off of 1 job. In a perfect world, only 1 income would be needed to support a family, and we could spend more time with our children, which is something all of us are lacking in doing because of this economy that we live in this world, this new world order that we've all been brought up in, where family doesn't matter anymore because we're always constantly on the grind, on the grind, on the grind. I 100% agree with you, Mother Toast, but that's not the point that I was making. The point that I was making is be virtuous, be honorable. Don't take the easy road like Hannah tried to take, because look where that path took her on her easy road. It resulted in her losing her dad. The whole world is looking at her, dissecting her personal life, and Strategic Eyes is on YouTube calling her an alleged scammer. That's the point I was trying to make. Let's keep going. Let's bring it back. Yeah, keep it over here. I want to play a little bit of the sister now. Let's listen to what the sister has to say.
My sister and I are close enough for her to let me know.
Sister's pretty too. You guys know I'm not a creep, but I do call out when women are attractive. She's a pretty lady. Let's keep going.
If she's like in distress, or if something like really dramatic was happening in her life. And this is just so bizarre because she's never mentioned going to Mexico, and it just doesn't make sense to me because I believe this is her first time ever even being in LA. And for her to go and do this on her own from LA and to cross the border of Mexico on her own with supposedly no phone, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me, and it feels like someone else is involved or controlling her or doing something. And I can't discount the fact that,
Wait.
you know, just because she was allegedly seen alone.
No. I want to see something. I need to see when this was published. 1 day ago, guys. And let's give them grace. Let's say that maybe they recorded this 48 hours before it was dropped. 1 day, but let's just go with what we see. 1 day ago, this was recorded, and she's still talking this mumbo jumbo that people are controlling her and all this extra stuff, sending the public into a tizzy that this girl might be trafficked or something like that. No, all evidence shows that this is not true. Why are they still moving forward with this narrative? It's pissing me off, guys. Let's keep going.
That doesn't necessarily mean, just because there's so much exposure on this case, it doesn't mean that she's necessarily alone and someone's just doing this from a distance, knowing that they don't want to be exposed.
So, Sarah, this sounds like a territory where you can really help as the family's representative. I mean, look, a family gets thrust into something. This is territory they never, ever imagined they'd be in. They don't know this landscape, but you do. So what are the next steps, Sarah, to try to figure out why is she in Mexico? Where might she be? And is there someone else involved?
Well, remember, Ashley, that this snapshot surveillance video is from November 12th. So there's still several weeks that have gone by since then. So our hope is that she is obviously still safe. And I'm now deploying.
I think this is an attorney, right? Yeah, she's very famous. Like, I've seen her on the internet a lot. She's very famous. She's really sharp too. I'll give her that. I've been cracking jokes a little bit for this live, but she's very sharp, very accomplished attorney. So they lucked out because she's probably doing it pro bono just for the notoriety, which is fine. Attorneys do that all the time. It doesn't mean they have bad character. They have to promote themselves. They are their own business. They're their own LLC. So, but they lucked out because she is very well known and she's very good. Dr. Cataclysm says, at True Crimes with Strategic Eyes, if she's a victim, she will have less consequences. Yeah, that's probably why they're pushing that narrative. You're right. You're 100% correct, Dr. Cataclysm. That's probably why they're pushing the narrative, because if she's a victim, then it's less consequences for her. But really, there's no consequences for her right now as far as her not allowing herself to be found or communicated with. But there could possibly be consequences with the marriage fraud. But let's keep going.
A team in Mexico to continue the search down there. So for us and the family, this is not at all over. The fact that the LAPD is deeming it to be voluntary doesn't make it any lesser of a disappearance and a missing person case to this family. So we're going to be focusing, I'm flying back to Los Angeles, I'm in New York now, but we're going to be focusing on putting a team together in Mexico and continuing the search there,
Right. So,
and trying to locate her.
So somebody asks, what would you do if it was yours? Your I don't even want to say it because I hate when people put stuff on me. But you guys know what I'm saying. What if it's doing is your loved one? That's what I'll say. I'm West Indian. We're superstitious. I would certainly go look for her. I would certainly go to Mexico. I would certainly be out here saying, listen, but I would be truthful and honest, though. I would not be disparaging the Los Angeles Police Department, even though I know that they're doing the best job that they could possibly do. And all evidence shows that my loved one has voluntarily, disappeared. I would not be saying that the police are somehow hiding information and all that good stuff and they're not doing a good job. I wouldn't say that. I would not go to the public and set up GoFundMe's and if one thing is for one thing, then it's for another thing. I wouldn't do that. But I certainly would. It would become a family issue. It would become a family matter. It'd be me mortgaging my house to pay for the search and all that good stuff, not asking strangers and pulling on their heartstrings and trying to divert them into believing that she might be trafficked or she might be kidnapped or something like that in order to get their money. What I've noticed being a YouTuber, there's a lot of people who have $0. But if they believe in a cause or they believe in a creator, they will give negative money to that creator or to that cause even though they will hurt them. That's why I always tell people, don't ever support me if you can't afford it. Don't do it. The other day, a lady hit me up on Patreon and she said, listen, and my Patreon is $5, but $5 is not nothing to me, but $5 might be something to somebody else. And she hit me up, she said, listen, my financial circumstances have changed and I can't afford your Patreon, but I don't know how to cancel my subscription. I went on YouTube, got a tutorial video, sent her the message, all of that stuff, and then she's, oh, thank you so much. I figured it out myself. Because that rang with me like, oh, let me make sure I could get her to cancel her membership as soon as possible so it doesn't re-up or something and take that money that she needs. Because some people, they just don't have it. And that's just life. And I grew up for most of my life not having it. I know exactly how that feels. I will never forget how that feels. I can't even eat French fries now. Because when I was growing up, the only thing I could afford was 4 chicken wings and French fries at the Chinese store for $4. And I literally was raised on French fries and 4 fried chicken wings. So now that I'm adult, the taste of French fries is revolting to me because I'm traumatized from being forced to eat it for so long. I get it. So it pisses me off because I know that there are people who are in need right now, who are sending this family their last dollar because they want to help. But they shouldn't be sending their last dollar to this family because Hannah does not want to be found. And Hannah might possibly be a very shady character. Now, big shout out to Moni with a $10 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Let's keep going.
And if, if the LAPD, as they say, this is voluntary, she doesn't want to be with the family or she did this on her own, we still need to locate her and confirm that. Because to us, there's a lot that doesn't add up. There was an ex-boyfriend that she'd planned this trip with. She flew with this ex-boyfriend. Did anybody talk to flight attendants to see if there was any interaction on this flight between her and this ex-boyfriend? I mean, there's a lot of questions and there's no answers.
Yeah, but, and I also just
to that, Sydney, go ahead.
No, I just want to clarify too that I don't know if we mentioned this earlier, but LAPD also has not released any footage to the family at all. They're basically just determining that this is my sister, but they haven't released any footage to us to confirm that this is my sister that they're claiming to cross the border. And that's something that I really need everyone to understand, is that none of us have seen this at all to confirm. Like, okay, like you would think that they would go to an immediate, like, either myself or my mom or someone to be like, hey, is this Hannah? Is this her? No, they automatically went straight to determining that that was her. So we don't even know if this is my sister.
Sydney, can I ask you if she does, I know she doesn't have her phone, but if she has some access to the internet or social media and she happens to see this interview, do you have a message for your sister?
Absolutely. I want her to know that she is loved and she is supported in every way, shape, or form. And no matter what she's going through right now, she needs to know that she has a place to come home to. And I can't stress it enough. Like, she is such a light, like, in our lives. And she's just such an amazing and beautiful woman. And she's my baby girl, she's my baby sister. And, I really hope that if she does see this, like, just let us know, give us a message or something to let us know that you are safe and that you are okay, because you have so many people behind you and you have so many.
Do me a favor, guys. Please hit that like button. Hit that like button. We got 600 people watching and 246 likes. I know maybe you hate me. Maybe you don't like me. You guys like hate watching me. But please hit that like button so more people can hate watch me and you won't be alone. Okay? Show that love to the channel. Let's keep going.
Many people who love and care for you, that just want to know that you're genuinely okay. Even if you're not, like, just something, some sort of, like, message, phone call, something.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. I like Ashley Banfield. She's really good. I like her channel. She's like down the middle. Good advocate, for victims. I do like Ashley Banfield. Let me bring her back to me, guys. This is crazy. This is insanity. All right, so let's recap what we talked about today. I want to be very clear as we go to the outro of the show. This is a pop-up live, so we're not here for 2 hours. All right. The purpose of me making this show is because we read, not received. We read new information that Hannah may have been involved in immigration fraud by marrying a Venezuelan national. Not Venezuelan. It's a Venezuelan. Argentinian national. It's always the Venezuelans. Not this time. They're like, not us. We didn't do it this time. It's no Tren de Aragua this time, okay? No. All right. We read an article from LA where they're talking about how she was involved possibly in immigration fraud by marrying an Argentinian national for the purpose of giving this person a visa and a green card, right? Along with that article, it said that the ex-boyfriend that she's no longer in a relationship with, but apparently they're still friends, they're still cohorts. He married the girlfriend of Hannah's husband, fake husband. He married the girlfriend of Hannah's fake husband so that she can become his fake wife, and she can also possibly get a visa and a green card, and this was done in exchange for money. This was done in exchange for money. Apparently, according to this article, it appears that there was some type of miscommunication or fraud involved with their very transaction, in that the ex-boyfriend or somebody else did not pay Hannah. They agreed on a sum of money. Hannah didn't get paid. And now she decides not to go to New York. All 4 of them were going to New York together, guys. Hannah, her Argentinian husband, Marianne, the Argentinian husband's girlfriend, and Hannah's ex-boyfriend, who's the husband of Marianne. Sounds complicated. Jesus, this is complicated. They were all going to New York. They all come to New York. Why? Why are you coming here? Why? We got enough problems in the great state of New York. We have enough problems here. Why are you coming here? But anyway, they were coming here. And then Hannah decided to go rogue. Now, they can't find Hannah, but they have found traces of her buying things in baristas, in the coffee shops, in the bookstore, at the bus station, at the border. Hannah is always safe and sound, safe and secure with her luggage, with her wallets, with her credentials every time she is spotted. There's one instance where she was spotted with an African-American male. That man is cooperative, even though the family, my opinion, alleged that he may have engaged in some type of misconduct, like drugging and abusing Hannah. Well, it doesn't appear that that man did that. It appears that he's innocent, and at the very most, he probably saw an attractive woman that he was trying to hang out with and get to know better, and at the very least, he just saw somebody that looked like they were lost and had a conversation with them and was spotted leaving the metro with them, at the very least. But nothing untoward was documented with this man and Hannah. And I hope that gets out there just as much as the negative commentary that was coming from the family gets out there in relation to this man. And I personally believe that the GoFundMe should be shut down. I think that if they like, they can start a new GoFundMe that will specifically talk about people donating to help with the family's personal search for Hannah. But the reason why I don't think that this GoFundMe should stay up is because the GoFundMe initially started because Hannah was missing and they felt that she was trafficked and they needed help. And midway through that GoFundMe, it then got changed to, well, she's voluntarily missing, so we need help with legals and we need help with searchers and investigators and stuff to find her. There's a lot of people who donated to that GoFundMe who would not be interested in trying to find somebody who does not want to be found. And lastly, I'm empathetic to the good people out there who are often willing to give their last cent to causes. And those people deserve their money back because they probably need the money more than Hannah family needs the money in finding Hannah, because Hannah is an adult. And at any time she wants to be found, she will be found. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys joining me today. You guys were great. I know I was a little animated. I was having a good time. It was fun. I'm not going to lie. I had a good time. I'm going to go to work smiling because of you guys. I appreciate you immensely. Let's do pray for Hannah's family in that they did lose the father. And let's pray for Hannah. She's a young, beautiful girl, and she needs to find herself. She needs to grow up. We need to figure out what's going on with her. And I hope she gets the help that she deserves. But I think we need to put this to bed. And I think this will probably be my last video that I do on Hannah. Unless something probative comes out, something interesting, I'll talk about it. I don't want to pigeonhole myself. But if nothing really good comes out of it, it's probably the last video I'll do other than Hannah was found. I think it's probably good to say that she was at least found, if she is found, and whatever statement she has to say. But Ashley Banfield, you're amazing. You're great. I look up to you. I love your show. Don't cover this family anymore. Law and Crime, don't cover this family anymore. Let Hannah go figure out what she wants to do. And when she's ready to come forward, let her come forward. Let her face the consequences for anything she needs to consequence. But lastly, if they engage in immigration fraud, go get them. Get that Argentinian dude out of here. Put him on a first JetBlue flight out of the country. Get Marianne out of here too. And punish Hannah and punish that ex-boyfriend if they attempted to defraud this great country with immigration fraud. Get them. You guys know I'm a Law and Order guy. I don't play no games. Anyway, guys, I see you guys on the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, join the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. We got almost 600 people watching right now and only 316 likes. Come on. I've been screaming, ranting, raving, jumping around in this seat for your entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Please do hit that like button and support the channel. And lastly, make sure that you're a member of the show. We got a lot of new members in this live who joined the membership. I hope you enjoy that membership. Make sure you become a member if you're not a member. And make sure you consider joining the Patreon, because the Patreon is where it's at, guys. I appreciate you guys immensely. See you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.